Yo, what's up, guys? It's Gio, or Lechikris, I should say. I gotta start going with that name more now, bro. Cause like, not if this channel ends up growing, people are gonna start calling me that. They're gonna find it really weird, bro. So I gotta get used to it. Anyways, this is Lechikris, and clearly this is a very different video from what I've done before. So I just want to let you guys know, if you guys like it, please drop a like, share it. It's a conspiracy vid. Obviously, you can tell from the title. So I just want you to know two things. Take these with a grain of salt because obviously they're conspiracies, they're theories, they're called theories, they're not fact, they're not conspiracy facts anymore or anything like that, you know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind. And two, just because I'm saying them doesn't mean I necessarily believe them, alright? Don't think I'm stupid just because I'm telling you that like Winnie the Pooh represents Satan and death and shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, like, don't get it twisted, okay? Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy the video. Grab a snack or something, I don't know, this is it. I hope I scare you. I don't think I will, but I hope I do. And please, for the love of God, share. Alright, so let's start with something light. This conspiracy has to deal with Stanley Meyer's water fuel cell car. Basically, it's a water power car. That's all you need to know. This man allegedly created a new type of engine that used just water to take you like 500 miles, like let's say from Los Angeles to San Diego and back. It sounded like, damn, that's crazy, bro. And allegedly the FBI was interested too. They actually offered to buy it for $4 billion, I believe. And he refused it. He didn't want to sell it. A few years later, after refusing to sell it, and he already had his patents and he already tested out the car and everything, it turns out that he was dining in a bar, and next thing you know, he runs out yelling, "They poisoned me!" Like you guys can look this up yourself. It's Stanley Meyer's fuel cell car. And later, after they did a coroner's report, it turns out he died of a stroke. I don't know about you, but that story that I just explained to you is really sus. If you take a look into it with an open eye or open mind, you'll find that a lot of this is BS. For example, the actual engine doesn't work itself. Doesn't work at all. It was found to be fraudulent apparently, and the Ohio courts also deemed it fraudulent, and he was actually sued, or his family was actually sued for using these patents, and they weren't actually viable. Although I will say this, as a conspiracy theorist, one would probably think, okay, the Ohio courts and these big companies are working together with the FBI to try and censor this because obviously cars are a pretty big industry, and putting out a water-based car would probably destroy the car industry, right? Because at the end of the day, it's been over 100 years that we've had a car, yet we haven't moved from the gasoline standard, right? Yes, electric cars have recently surfaced, like Teslas and Chevy Volts and Prius, the best kind. They've all come up, and yes, they're supposed to be better for the environment, but at the end of the day, they're powered by electric, and you still have to charge them, and charging them still requires fossil fuels. At the end of the day, it's something more of a speculative type of conspiracy theory. There's nothing concrete about this one, but it's still an interesting one to me nonetheless, because if you follow any conspiracy pages, I know some of you do, because some of us follow the exact same ones. I see you guys, and I know you guys. I'm sure you guys have seen this one before. I just wanted to put this out there though, because I think it's personally pretty interesting, even if it's not true, whether it is or it isn't. I like it. All right, let's talk about the Illuminati card game. So like a lot of you like conspiracy nuts know about this, so sorry, but there's a lot of people that don't know about this, and I find it really surprising that people don't, because it's like one of the biggest things that like conspiracy theorists usually talk about. But basically, it's a card game made by Steve Jackson in 1995, and what it is, it's a card game called Illuminati. Now, Illuminati, like a card game named Illuminati, already sounds pretty sus, like in the first place, but whatever, like it's just a card game, right? But the issue with it is that people began realizing that the card game isn't just a card game. It actually aligns with a lot of the I want to say like disasters that have affected us in like huge ways. This could range from things like 9/11 to the BP oil spill, you know, like stuff like that. Like it's just like predicting all of them, and people started realizing that after 9/11. Everyone was just like, whoa, this is kind of weird, you know. Anyways, let me show you. Let me show you two examples from 2010. Let's talk about the earthquake in Japan. So basically, as we all know, we all lived through it, I'm assuming. I don't think there's any 10-year-olds watching this, but if there are, basically there was a big earthquake, tsunami hit Japan, and the tsunamis ended up messing with a bunch of the nuclear reactors. That was actually predicted by the card game. Yeah, like, there's not that much description about it, it's just the image, but you'll see what I mean later on. Same thing happens with the oil spill. In 2010, there was a big oil spill, probably the biggest one ever. That's what they estimated it to be. It was off the Gulf of Mexico, and it was really bad, and it affected the environment extremely bad, and we're still dealing with the consequences today. Okay, but like in a game called Illuminati, you would kind of expect that, you know what I'm saying? So like with the concept of the game, you would probably expect that to be one of the things, you know what I'm saying? How about 9/11? Not only did they get the Twin Towers, but they also got the Pentagon on fire and shit, you know? Let's talk about... let's talk about this one, alright? Why would they put the Twin Towers of all the buildings they could have put? They could have put the Empire State Building, they could have put the Sears Tower, they could have put the Citibank one in Los Angeles. They put the Twin Towers right there and the Pentagon. I mean... when I first saw this, I was like, alright, you got my attention, like, show me more, you know? And keep in mind that these are cards that I just, like, went on Google for, and I just picked, like, the first examples that came up that, like, I remember, you know? There's a lot more. There's, like, plenty more, you know? But yeah, like, when I first found out about these cards, this was around the time, the NSA got the files leaked, and I didn't know about that. So I'm like, okay, let me look at some recent examples of the thing. And this actually came up. It turns out the NSA was spying on us, and they already knew about that in the first place. Like, I mean, a lot of people already like were suspicious of them, but the lid was never blown like that. You know what I'm saying? Another event that conspiracy theories talk about, which I find kind of sad, is the Las Vegas shooting, because it's obviously like a really bad thing that happened. But the thing is that it's been predicted too by this card if you look at it closely. Now, if you look at the card, it seems pretty innocent at first. It's just Las Vegas, just talking about the city, you know. But if you look at the cards right there, it's a Jack and an Ace. And if you play cards that you know that usually represents a 10 and a 1, which is the date that the actual shooting happened. Not only that, but the man who was performing at the time of the shooting was Jason Aldean. Okay, Gio, like, what's so special about that is Jason Aldean's country, like, but well, the thing is that he has this exact same tattoo. Like, not even joking. Like, look, like I might be like, this one might be like a reach, you know what I'm saying? But when you combine them all together, it's like, okay, buddy, you know? Okay, Gio, how about some recent examples? Well, actually, I have some. Anyone know about some guy with yellow hair? Pretty charismatic leader. Kind of got like about half the country to vote for him in 2016. Damn, bro. Or how about something more recent, like I don't know, the biggest event to happen in 2020, coronavirus. Well, they have a few cards for those too. And if you look at it, it's kind of like scary. They got quarantine, they got the mask, they got the body bags and shit. Like, it's like, and then the CDC, who's at the center of all this. It's like, okay, buddy. At this point, like with all the cards I've been showing you, like I'm like, I promise you guys, like, you guys can look at it right now on Google, and you'll find like plenty of examples. Not only just these are just a few of them. And it just gets you like, what the hell? Like, are you serious? And like, while I was researching for this, it was like probably like 2 or 3 days after the riots that just happened in DC. I was just like, damn, bro. These kind of remind me of stuff that's been going on like very recently, like just this week. Such as Eat the Rich. Everyone on Twitter, I mean, it's like the most socialist place out there, but aside from that, like a lot of people are kind of like growing hateful towards the rich, which is natural in like a classist society. But like that's a whole nother can of worms. Anyways, that's supposed to symbolize right now, like what's going on right now. Also, like what I was just saying about the March on Washington, they actually did that too. And just have a look for yourself. I mean, yeah, like a lot of people always protest at Washington. Like you could like say the same thing about like right now, or the same thing that happened when Biden won, or let's say when the Black Lives Matter riots were going on. Yeah, like there's gonna be a lot of them, you know. But I just wanted to use this as like a more recent example, you know, just to, like I want to say to just show a lot of cards for very specific examples. But what's a very specific example that's actually going on right now is just how many people have been turning on Trump. Not only Democrats, because they've been hating them for a long ass time now, but even Republicans now are like really turning on him. News outlets like Fox, like the news outlet that everyone hates just because, well, everyone in California at least, that everyone hates just because it's so conservative, they even turned on him too. And I think it's represented well by this card. And like overall, I feel like this conspiracy is a good one. It has to deal with predictive programming. The same way the Simpsons have predicted like a bunch of stuff before. Everyone knows about that, right? They even predicted 9/11 too. Like there we go. So like just trying to give you an example of like how the two intermingle with each other. But it's kind of crazy how a lot of these things are predicted beforehand, and people are like, "Damn, that's crazy, bro." And that's it. You know what I'm saying? But like I'm not trying to be like, oh, be woke, you know, like be conspiracy theorists and shit like that. But like at the same time, like just look at it, like pay attention, see if you're getting played or not. Because let's be honest, the government isn't the most trustworthy source. It never has been, and I don't think it ever will. Never in history has it proven that. Especially the U.S. Jesus, I don't know, man. This could all just be like one huge coincidence, but. You do what you want with this information, honestly. Like I think it's a pretty interesting conspiracy to begin with, but at the end of the day, it's still conspiracy. You get me? All right, now we're gonna get into the big boys, the Illuminati. Unless you live under a rock, you know that the Illuminati is basically at the center of all the conspiracy theories right now, and for good reason, because it's a pretty good explanation for the shit world we live in. Let's be honest. Like no one wants to believe that like human nature is just that bad, that everyone's just a bad person. We'd rather believe that someone's just like saying this or some shit is just like causing all these problems, you know? Anyways, if you delve in deep enough into it, you'll find out that there are 13 families that actually control the Illuminati, or that are the Illuminati. And today we're gonna be talking about two of them. It's such a deep rabbit hole, guys, that like I honestly can make like a 3-hour video about this, but let's just stick with two and then one topic for each, okay? So there's two families, the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers. Let's start with the Rothschilds. Basically, these people are rich, bro. Like rich, bro. Like you don't even like. God damn. They make Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk look like peasants, bro. The reason you don't find these people on rich lists or any like top 10 richest people in the world lists is because they choose to be very secretive. These are people who not like bankers who don't lend money to normal people. They actually lend the money to countries. Let me put it this way: the U.S. has a national debt, extremely high national debt. And if you look on the national debt calculator, you'll see we owe it to China, we owe it to, like, yeah, you know. I'm pretty sure I just named some dead country right now, but don't come at me, all right? Well, in reality, if you ask an economist, we're always in debt to the Federal Reserve. Basically, the Federal Reserve controls the economy by lending us money at an interest rate. It's usually around 12 to 13%, but it fluctuates, you know, that's basically it. But that begs the question, what's that interest rate going to? Like, we're paying them interest back. We're paying them more than they're lending us, so who's getting that money? Well, it's these people. And as part of the Illuminati, you want total control of the world, which is why they had an issue with a couple of countries that weren't under their control for a long ass time. For example, in the year 2000, there was just 7 countries not controlled by them. This was Afghanistan, Iraq, Sudan, Libya, North Korea, Cuba, and Iran. Alright? Today, only 3 of these countries exist. And the other 4, we bombed the shit out of them after 9/11 because they had weapons of mass destruction and whatnot. Basically, they're under our control now. And I'd say that's... The 3 countries left are North Korea, Cuba, and Iran. We've always beefed with Cuba. We still have an embargo with them since like the 1960s. We've always beefed with North Korea. Well, actually, no. Since around like 2010s, we've been beefing with them for a long ass time now. There's been rumors of war since like 2015. And number 3, Iran. I don't know if you guys remember this, but on I think it was January 3rd, 2020, we literally bombed the shit out of them, and everyone was talking about World War III coming up, right? That was the very beginning of 2020. Everyone forgot about it because of COVID, but that was the very first scene. Those 3 countries we're beefing with, and we're trying to put them under the dollar system. If you look at the Rothschild Dynasty, like if you look at the control that people have, because we want them all under our central banking system, it all checks out. And then that brings the question, like, why don't we go against them? Why do we give them so much power? Why do they have so much money? Well, we actually did try once. A president in 1960 tried to sign Executive Order 11110 that basically dissolved the Federal Reserve and made the U.S. lend themselves money, you know, just so like we have more control over it. That man was JFK, and he got killed a few weeks later. As soon as Lyndon B. Johnson took over for his dead president, he took it back. He removed the executive order. That was it. Never again have presidents tried to get rid of it. The only other time was when Andrew Jackson did it, and that ended up not working out in the end either, obviously. Okay, and then the Rothschilds, they control the money, right? Well, another big thing that the world revolves around for some reason is oil, and that's where the Rockefellers come in. The Rockefellers are supposed to control the oil and the banking system, and if you look at like a lot of history, like in like recent history, like post-industrial revolution, you'll notice their name come up. The Rockefeller was actually one of the biggest, like he was like the Elon Musk of like the industrial revolution. Him and Andrew Carnegie ended up donating his money. Rockefeller ended up making an empire with it. He's just very secretive with it. I don't think a lot of people know this, but holistic and alternative medicine used to actually be an acceptable form of treatment. It was actually the most common. John D. Rockefeller actually just got like a crap ton of oil, and he found out about the pharmaceutical industry, that he can make a crap ton of money off of it. So what he did was hire board members, place them in all the right places, funded research, donated to schools on the condition that they teach his curriculum. And he did this all in the right way to shift public perception to look down upon holistic and alternative medicine, and to view Western medicine and pharmaceutical industry as the only way, right? So this meant no herbs, no plants, no ginseng tea, whatever, to be used as like actual medicine. Now we actually had to take penicillin and whatever the hell they used at the time, because obviously they were doing a lot of things. They were serving coke as a remedy for a headache before. And conspiracy theorists or not, I think a lot of us have come to terms with the fact that the pharmaceutical industry is pretty fucking evil. I mean, come on, there's no reason insulin should cost that much when it costs this much to make it, you know? Like, people's lives are at stake. It's no debate right there. And let me just give you like a small example. Let me just give you a small example of another reason why they're Illuminati. The GOAT Jay-Z? No, I'm just kidding, fuck Jay-Z. What's the name of his record label? Rockefeller. And doesn't everyone know him as like the biggest Illuminati guy like of all time? Like him and Beyonce are like both the satanic people. If you're a conspiracy theorist, obviously, because like they're very symbolic in what they do and stuff like that, like Black is King and the stuff they do with Kanye and shit like that. You know what I'm saying, right? Well, anyways, I think this is this is a huge, like, if you guys are any type of like acquainted with conspiracy theories, is a huge rabbit hole. And let me know if you guys want me to do another video on this, because I'd be more than happy to. Like, I think it's really interesting. I don't necessarily believe it, but I think it's like it's good to know about these things, just to gain like another perspective of the world, you know, because we all know that the government has done some really shady things in the past, like MK Ultra, the Tuskegee experiment, and every single coup that they've done. Like, there's so many more things. Like, just go on YouTube and watch a Watch Mojo video on it. It's like the search bar is literally above me. Like, dude, the U.S. If you don't believe that the U.S. is like an evil entity, I don't know what to tell you at this point. And they have no reason to change. The only thing they really know how to do is to hide things. So that's why I find conspiracy theories pretty believable, or pretty interesting at the very least. That's why I pay them mine. You guys let me know if you found these pretty interesting or not. Like, I'd greatly appreciate if you guys like, shared, you know, the whole shebang. You guys already know what I'm talking about. Because it lets me know that, like, if I should keep doing this or not. Because this video is honestly an experiment. If you guys like it, I'll do this and streams highlights every once in a while. If not, I'll just do stream highlights. It's fine, or other things. You know, I have a couple ideas, but I really like the conspiracy idea. You guys let me know. I got you guys, and please share, guys. I love you guys. You guys be safe and stay woke. The real question to be asked, where have I been? I'm a shapeshifter at Boost Masquerade, hiding both face and mind, all free for you to draw. I'm a shapeshifter, what else should I